very first thing I did in FIFA was trading on the actual day and then buying Mendy and Felipe Anderson overnight. It had been troubling because I was market banned on the web app, so I couldn't do anything at the start. Then I paid 3.5k for Tiliska because I knew I was going to get Team of the Week, and I sold him for 5.5k. As you can see here, I started flipping some icons very early on when I could barely afford it. Now at this point I had like 500k, so I invested a lot of coins into Davies and Spurs players in general. I also had Van der Sar there to flip. But I did this for the Lucas Player of the Month. After he had beat United, it was pretty obvious that he was going to get the Player of the Month and that Spurs was going to be a requirement. This is something you can see because of how EA has done things in the past with FIFA 18, for example. So the first few days, quick flips on guys like Mahrez and in general just mainly Premier League players because it's the easiest to work. And I also packed Courtois at this point early on, which had helped me a lot. As you can see, I was on like 500k TP, and I quickly got up to 1 million as well, like a day or two later. And you can see here that Lucas came out, and I flipped Davis for like 50 to 75% profit. Here you can see some deals that I made as well. Again, mainly Premier League. Then the first League SPC came out, and I started flipping those silvers, just mainly like when it came out. You had the UCL that came out. This was a bit after though. I didn't get the initial. I flipped some Allison and guys like that. And just in general, like small stuff. Then we had the first ones to watch get a potential Team of the Week, so I flipped Higuain. Then I did some squad battles investment. When the guards got really low, you can pick them up a bit. That's especially OP in the start of FIFA. This is Team of the Week 2, I believe, that I picked up for the Premier League Player of the Month, the next one. You can also see Matip as well. That's some nice easy profit early on. I actually sold too early as well. And at this point I have millions worth of TP. And here the second batch of UCLs came out, and that was very profitable for me. I also managed to snipe a Lampard for minimum. That was really game changer at the start because it meant I had a lot more coins to do icon flips, and just in general helped set the ground up. And just here doing some more sniping. You see it's early from October. Game not even been out for a month. At this point not a lot of people have coins, so you can see here my icon flips are starting to get really good. Like 160k profit is very good. And in general in this video I have a lot of icons, and I want to say that I've only picked the best ones like overall, because otherwise it would just be too much really. Like it seriously wouldn't be able to fit. On the courses of FIFA you need to do a lot of flipping, and icons, especially the first months, was one of those big profit makers for me. I enjoyed sitting on the market. I think it's exciting, you know, when you sit on the 59th minute or you're in a bid battle. I really like it. I like the big budget trading, especially at the start, because it's hard for people to keep up. You know, they don't have the sort of coins that the big ballers have. And even early on, I was one of the richer accounts in FIFA, which helps a lot when trying to trade, basically, because you can out budget anyone. And in general, you can just see make a lot of profit on icons. And it is one of the better methods in FIFA, you know, along with some of the stuff I do, like flipping UCLs. That's very OP early on. Not so much anymore. And then in general, like once you watch after the big games, you can flip them because of the Team of the Week hype. That's also one of my better methods. Of course, that's relying on the ones to watch actually doing something. You don't want to pick them up before the game. That's too risky in my opinion. Only at the very start you can pick them up, and then you can sell them in the game hype. But in general, they don't work that much. Here you can see Arnautovic and Lukaku and Bali and stuff like that. It's Team of the Week 5. One of my biggest mistakes early on. I think I lost like several 100,000 coins, maybe up to 500k. It really set me back because you could see all those Arnautovic and Van Dijk, so I was stuck with them. And here you see the UCLs live. I think it was the second or third batch, and I made so much coins in this. Even though I had a lot of coins invested in Team of the Week 5, which went wrong. You can see here the entire list is just high profit on all of them. And I made like 1.5 mil from like 2 million or 3 million. It was very great, and it really helped me, you know, come back for that Team of the Week 5, because right after this I was able to just sell all the Team of the Weeks that had gone wrong and just, you know, reset basically. And that's one of the things you need. You want to take a loss, you just gotta outmatch it. This was the non-rares I had picked up because they had done the SPCs for the Champions League thing, and as you can see, you make a lot of coins there. In percentage wise, not of course in actual coins. It was like 400 to 450 I picked them up for. Here you can see a massive R10 flip, and at this point I had 25 million TP after barely a month of FIFA, and I was also in top 100, just gotten that. And here at 3 a.m. late night, I managed to snipe a Figo and made one of my biggest deals this FIFA. Sometimes that's just about luck and, you know, being at the right place at the right time, being fast, knowing the prices, being able to react in it. You know, if you don't know the price, if you're not searching, you wouldn't have been there to get the deal, or you've been too slow. So, you know, it's all about luck sometimes and just being on the market really. And you see an example later on in the video. This was an R9 flip that I did with 100 FUD market as well. It was actually a big fail. We expected a lot more. These were picked up for mint, the UCLs. Again, for an SBC, it was just an easy thing to predict at the start. And at this point in 9th November, this was an overview of all my icon flips up to that point. And I've made 10 million at that point. Just telling you like the scale of how many icons have flipped. You know, you can see 153 icons that early on. Here another batch of UCL investments. This was for Savage, who came out. I had predicted that he had dropped a hint that would do something, so I invested in that. Went pretty well as well, like a few 100k profit. Then you can see another, like it's a bio flip. It's just a lot of flips. Like you may think from this that all the flips are absolutely amazing. They're not. Like some of them are only 40k, 50k and stuff like that, but it's just those are the ones I left out of the video just because it wouldn't be necessary. I already think I may have included too many. And I also want to make it clear, like the more expensive an icon is, like even though you make 100k, the return on investment might only be like 5%. That's not great. Here's an example of Thursday flipping. I just bought all the informs I think were meta and stuff like that, and we just flipped them. This is something I haven't really included that much into this video, but it's something I made a lot of coins on and done a lot. You've seen other traders do this as well. I think I made 700k from a 10 mil investment. Now that was hurt a little bit because of Sadov took up a lot of the budget. But in general, I made like 10%, and that's basically what you need to aim for. Here Sancho came out, and because he was taken offline, I was able to pick up Hector and flip them. Of course, he ended up doubling. Here is Black Friday. I just bought all of the big icons. You know, I timed it right. I was right about what was going to happen with the prices of the event, and I made like 800k in that team. Now I only have some of the images. I couldn't find the others, but overall, I was very happy with predicting Black Friday correctly. Even though I could have made more coins if I just mass invested in like 83s and 84s, but even though I have done that a few times this FIFA, I prefer not to. This was Hullet as well. I sold that live on stream. I was, yeah, pretty happy about that. He's a great card as well. He invested 13 million into goals, expecting a base icon SBC that was rumored. He never actually came, so that was basic break even. Here you have Talisca for flashback Pato. That was rumored, so I invested in it. Then he dropped like crazy. Afterwards, I had sold and I redid back into it. And that allowed me to make a lot of profit. And you see here, I basically made a million of Talisca just due to the Pato because I first sold in the hype, and then after the hype, I redid back in and sold on Thursday, the following Thursday. Well, a lot of people end up doing the SBCs as well, especially if they last for like a few days and you can do them until Friday or Thursday. People tend to do it on Thursday, and a lot of people take the untradeable awards. They feel like, okay, I want to do this flashback or any other SBC basically. And that's something you need to remember and you can profit on. Especially, I think my man Jake managed to flip Lindelof from 27k to 37k when Ibra came out, and it's just in general stuff like that you can do. There's plenty of examples, but it's just one of them. And a lot of flipping in this video in general. I don't like to invest. I think investing is too slow this FIFA. It's not the meta anymore. You want to be in and out cards fast, and pretty much every single time I made an investment, I ended up being stuck in it or lost profit or not made anywhere near what I could have done flipping. It's kind of too lazy. And here you see another example. You saw them a few seconds ago. This is the sales. It's just more UCL flipping. It's been very OP at the start. Hopefully they return in FIFA 20 because it was just such an easy profit maker, and especially now that we're all aware of it, it would be absolutely amazing if they returned. Of course, you can argue they ruin informs a little bit, but that's a different debate. For traders, they're absolutely gorgeous. Even now, like, you can get them easily on bid and make a lot of profit that way. Now, I want to reiterate that some of these icons are on bid, but you're not really able to see it. This Griezmann, for example, was on bid. It's kind of tough to show on the phone, but some of them are bid, some of them are buy nows. This one, another example of bad investment. I shouldn't have done that. This was a flip into a team of the week. I flipped them for 33k. Now going back to the Sylvester and stuff like that, I invested all my coins in before FUTMAS, and they literally didn't rise at all. Now I had a project in school, so I wasn't able to do anything, but it just sucked. Here you see an example of flipping throughout a period of time. I just included these. I know it's pretty hard to see, but you can see it all on Twitter. I flipped too many cards to even be able to show it. I had a 3-day period where I flipped for 2 million worth in 3 days, just to show people how much you could do from just daily flipping. Some of those were icons as well, but it was mainly just like the Perisic lives and all that stuff. This was like in December as well. I think it was late December, something like that. After I'd come back from a school project, I was able to put in a shift. Might have been in start January, but it doesn't really matter. It's just an example of how much you can do if you just sit there on the market. Most of them, the majority of them, are in bids and just know the fluctuations. Here, Team of the Year came out, and I flipped my first Team of the Year. I was very happy about that. It's just something comes with experience. Then sadly, it took some massive losses for Team of the Year. I lost like 2-3 million. I managed to recoup 2 million just from the SPCs that came in that period of time. But I then lost a further 3 million from opening packs in terms of untradeable packs. But I then did like Balak and Keen and stuff like that from it. So while I didn't pack a Team of the Year, which was unfortunate, it still had a bit of positive outcome. Here you see an example of me flipping Suarez after he got a 93 Team of the Week. That's also a method you can do. You flip the previous Team of the Week of the one that's coming out because it drops too low in the panic. And basically just in FIFA, panic is one of the key things to look out for. Whenever people are panicking, you can make a lot of profit off this. This was me flipping Alex Telles when Eder Militao came out in the Future Stars. And here I end up flipping Inform Van de Beek and Future Star Delete because De Jong came out. Now these two trades I'm not actually that proud of, even though I made 1 million of coins combined, just because they were based on very based on leaks. I knew in advance that Young SPC was coming out. I knew in advance that Eder Militao was coming in the squad. And in general terms, I have been getting leaks. I'm gonna be honest about that, but I rarely use them to my advantage. So I'm not like, this is not something you would have been able to do. It's just because I was able to get the information before others. But you know, I just want to include them and say that has happened. It's been like 2.5% of my total profit, and you know, I just had information and decided I wanted to do it because why not? An example of how well link investment can work. You can in general just, you know, especially at the start, if you see I don't know, Premier League is not ideal, but if you see Koulibaly a Team of the Week, then you can buy like a Gulaham or a Hamshik or something like that to get the links. Basically the fullbacks to the centre backs, the goalkeeper to the centre backs, like key links that you need like wingers to a forward or a center mid. That works very well. You've seen Lala work very well with Mbappe in the past as well. And that's just one of the better things to do. Here's another example of ones to watch flipping when they were getting an inform. Now, I'm not actually selling after a team of the week. I'm selling when they are rumored to get into team of the week, when they're into predictions. So it's like Tuesday, sorry. I sell and I usually pick up after the game has been done for a few hours, because as soon as the game is done, some people start selling off and you can rebuy back in the dip. And here's an example of flipping for link investment to Davies. Now here's my second ban this FIFA, or was it no, this at this point it was the first one. Now I did get everything back, but overall being banned has cost me crazy opportunities. Like I was banned right before the base icon SPC came out, which basically like I knew that was coming out because of the code Footwatch tweeted out, and had I had my account fully available like normally I probably made it 10 million flipping gold cards for that. So that's cost me a lot of coins in opportunity cost. And the second one I got later on in FIFA cost me 3 million in having to sell Friday instead of Thursday due to a promo. So my relationship with EA is not that great, even though I managed to get my account back both times. Just because being banned while having done anything wrong, it's fucking sucks. Here's another example. Stocking up for Thursday, you know. And also the promise clip before was the clip that got me banned. That's been confirmed. That was promise. The high increase he had in price because of the mass match. And also sold other promises that made like 500k profit and stuff like that. So that was the thing that got me banned. And here again, just more first day stuff. You can make like 10%, and if you have 20 million, you can make 2 million. It's amazing, really. And it's caused because people get a lot of coins on first day to buy the team before weekend league and stuff like that. It's the main day that people build squads. Now, it's gotten a little less OP than it was, but it still basically works every single time. It's never failed. Even today, the day right before football, you saw cards fly up. And it just goes to show how powerful it really is. And in general, it's just one of the things like you need to know how to do, which cards to pick up and stuff like that. And it's just coming from experience, seeing what happened the previous times. Here's my biggest loss on cards. Like I lost 2 million there, stupid investment. Then in UCL Lives came, you see that they tweet about me saying Lingard was good. You're gonna see more example of that later. I made millions from UCL's lives, and not even while watching the game live. Here was the FA Cup game. I think this was Arsenal, Chelsea or Arsenal. We played, and Pogba had scored 1 goal, so I decided to pick one up, and he later on scored on a penalty. And as soon as he did that, I just sold him. And generally, you can see like I'm flipping Pele, I'm flipping the big icons, the team of the years, and that's because my budget allows it. And also because like I know the fluctuations and stuff like that. Here you can see me tallying up profit from a single day and managed to make 1.2 million that day. Because just being on the market can provide deals. Here I got it and got 100k cheaper, and especially the longer you come into the cycle, the more often cards will just sit crazily cheap. You see me selling Lingard for 500k profit before the United game. You saw Benzema before the first knockout game, Florenzi and all that. And you're selling the hype, you absolutely don't want to hold. We've seen plenty of examples of that. There you see Raja being flipped before potential team of the week, he had made an assist. Here is one of my better investments as well. Ori and Davidson, I managed to make 1 million off of that. Just in pure hype. There was no Spurs winning at that point. There was pre-game. That was my second ban, by the way. He see me at 93 million CP, 13 in the world. I also packed Ronaldo right after I got unbanned in my fourth one to watch pack. Moments come in here and I start flipping them. But I've been removed of the transfer profit list on FIFA. I'm no longer on the leaderboards. Now I would have been 7th or something like that in the world on the all-time transfer profit. but because EA decided to remove me, I'm not there. Which kind of sucks, I haven't done anything wrong, but the reason I'm not there is because when I got banned the second time, it like, the ban just, I don't even know why I got banned. It didn't tell me either when I got unbanned, but something triggered and I haven't been able to contact anyone. I was in contact with the EA rep, or dev of the game, but he never got back to me, so I'm not gonna reappear on the leaderboards before next FIFA. But I've been top 100 3 times, 3 years in a row. I've been in top 100 this FIFA since October, and I would have been in top 10 easily. Um, and I think, this is something you could be proud of, and not spend a single FIFA points this FIFA. The only FIFA points I have had on my account was 1,050 because I bought PlayStation. Um, was it PlayStation Plus? But that's not really my fault. It's just happened. And here you see more moments flipping. You also saw the team of the years before. That was just from buying a team, but I knew when to buy and when to sell before the market would start dipping and stuff like that. And that's just information that comes with experience and reading the market. The same with these, you bid on them, you buy now them when they know they're good deals, you watch the market, you see what is happening. Our price is gonna go up this time of the day, or you can sell overnight very well because the market gets few items on the market, so it's easy to flip. He made a mistake and put matches back down to 400k, so just sniping it was pretty easy. Used him in the team as well. We're coming towards the end here. I did a flip on Dino. It's actually bad. I made a flip on Hold It as well, you're gonna see. And the return on investment is absolutely awful. I expected much more profit, but he got undercut quite heavily, and I didn't want to be stuck in him for several days. Just decided to take the 100k profit and just get out. This is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed, and this was my journey to 40 million coins.